Good morning, good morning. We are live. We are live on this social media. We're live on that social media. We're live on the other social media. We're live on Clubhouse. We are live on Facebook. We are live on LinkedIn. No, we're not. We're live on Twitter, on Twitch, and on StreamYard, and on Instagram. Or can you believe it that we're live all over the flipping place? And it's 6 o'clock. It's 6 o'clock on Monday, the 29th of January, and we are here. There are others in the room, and I suggest that we do some sharing. I would imagine that this link is available to some people somewhere. But if you can ping people in that you know are normally here, that would be great. And we will get on with this. I am already live and sharing a PowerPoint presentation. I'm just going to say good morning in the chat. And of course, good morning to James. I'm glad you're out of hospital. And good morning to Adam. So this morning, I have just done a little tiny few notes, and it is just a little tiny few notes. It's not going to be easy, this one, because I've got to talk about what I'm doing at the same time as being live, at the same time as managing a PowerPoint presentation, at the same time as coordinating our stream. And I haven't even taken my medication this morning. So I'm back after a weekend away. And today I'm talking about why connection is key. And if I was you, I'd jot things down, because we've got things to share today. And the main thing that we've got to share is that we have an opportunity. We have an opportunity to be together. We have an opportunity to share who and what and how we are with one another, because connection's key. And this is what I'm. Well, you'll see if you're on any other Instagram or social media. Hi, then good morning. Then you'll see that good morning that we are showing this PowerPoint presentation. So yeah, we're all connected, and there's going to be an opportunity. So if I was you, I would make some notes. Why is connection key? Well, we're all connected. How do I know we're all connected? Fascinating, fascinating, fascinating. Today, I'm going to tell you a story. I've got a few stories, but one of them is that I've just been away for the weekend. Went away for the weekend to meet with some people, and the people that we met were incredibly interesting and people after my own heart. I went with Marie, who's here next to me, and we even took a cameraman along with us, and had some footage taken. Thank you, Marie, for popping that link up there. And I'm going to talk to you about why I know we're all connected and why connection is key about that meeting. So this meeting has been booked alongside Adam Baker, and Adam is in the audience, and he wanted us to meet some people in his area who are doing good works like us on behalf of individuals with disabilities. And some of those individuals with disabilities also have additional needs, such as learning challenges. Not all of them, but some of them. Now, I'm just about to move into my placement, which is all about adults with disabilities in a disability day centre opportunity resource centre, and also adults with disabilities who then have moved on towards things like Parkinson's and dementia. Some of the participants have juvenile dementia, which happens as well. We don't have to be in the older persons category to experience dementia. It's experienced by children as well. And there's something, if you didn't know, that you might learn today. So absolutely, there we go. So the challenges that we face are multiple, and the individuals that we support, particularly I support. I'm Mandy Jane, by the way, for those that don't know. MJ is what people usually call me. I've got Marie and Alexia next to me. Marie works alongside me, as does Alexia, both of whom are also clients of mine. Marie came down with me to talk with these individuals who work with adults with disabilities and those who may have learning differences. And I know Good morning. That connection is key, because the person I met, not only do they do amazing things, as we all do with individuals with disabilities that work in my arena, but this lady was definitely connected. Definitely connected. And I'll tell you why. Adam was aware that this lady had a kidney condition. He didn't know what, and it was quite non-specific. And I didn't know she had a kidney condition. But when I met her, I discovered that she did. As we were talking before actually the presentation, we began talking about our own health challenges and our own difficulties. And long story short, it turned out that I have a condition which means my kidneys are duplex. I should have been a twin. I'm a chimera. I have duplex, the amount of me inside me. Instead of splitting, I absorbed. And as a result of absorbing my twin, I have duplex kidneys. That is a very rare condition, particularly complete duplexity. And the fact that I had 4 working kidneys that didn't work particularly well, but they were all working, functioning in one body. The lady I met also had a difference in her kidneys, and she'd had the same operation except by keyhole many years later. I was 11 when I had mine. She was in her 20s. And I was the first in England for that operation, and mine was not keyhole. I was cut from hip to hip around the back of me, and my kidneys were out in kidney bowls on the table. My kidneys were removed. My bladder was removed as well. And then I was replumbed and everything put back together. I was cine filmed, and I had to have an equity card in order to be cine filmed, and there was standing room only, and people looking over in the operating theatre. And this lady that I met had the same experience. What are the odds? What are the odds of me beginning a business, chasing a personal mobility device for 5 years through New Zealand called an OGO, that device becoming the Omeo and being brought to the UK, me having a seated assessment with the Omeo and then asking for one through government provision, access to work, and saying to the directors, I think we need to work together. Adam applied for an Omeo through our collaborative services, and it's through that interaction that I met this lady who had the same very rare duplexity that I had. And those other people, we talked about surgeons and who did hers and who did mine, and the fact that they were all very much tied up with the same hospital setup. It's a small world. We are all connected. We are all connected, and connection is the key. Connection actually is all I have. It's all we have. The individuals that we work with, adults with disabilities, don't have a lot of opportunities. 17% of the UK's housing stock is available for adults with physical disabilities, and adults with learning disabilities, well, 95% of those individuals do not get a chance to work, to marry, to have a boyfriend, a girlfriend, have children, make friends, or go out independently. Connection is key because we are all connected. We are everything, and everything is us. We are indelibly connected. You know, Brené Brown, who is I'm a bit of a fangirl. I'm a bit of a fangirl of Brené. When I read of Brené, and I'm reading Daring to Lead at the moment, what a fascinating book if you want to know how to lead leaders. Read Brené Brown. Connection is why we are here. It's what gives purpose and meaning to our lives, says Brené Brown. I died. I'm not sure whether, I'm just changing the slide. I'm going to go back a second because we are everything and everything is us. When I did pass the first, second, and third time, that was all I became aware of. I am everything. Everything is me. The universe is I, and I am part of the universe. And my journey each time brought me back to my body, where I was a little disappointed, but grateful that I was allowed back to do what I had to do. Because when I returned to my body, I knew my job was to keep on keeping on. My job was to be. My job was to learn to move my energy. My job was to become greater than myself. My job was to become a bigger future than I had in front of me. It was to imagine a future bigger than I could imagine. To be going down a road maybe like the one I'm showing you, where I can't see the end result, because it's not actually about the end result. I was speaking with a colleague this morning about the fact that they spent the whole of their journey home deciding what they could have done better this weekend. And I think we all do that. Reflect. It's important to reflect. But this journey that we're going on, the one that I've got a picture of here, isn't one that we can see the end of. But we know it is, right? Inevitably. Somebody said to me the other day, I'm not sure I'm going to leave this care facility. Well, there's nothing as sure as eggs that they are, right? One way or another, we're going to be leaving this care facility. What, this planet? And we are everything, and everything is us, and connection is key, and we don't know where we're going. So given that we don't know where we're going, given that it took me to die to work out that I needed to make a change, for me to realize just that we are indelibly connected, I'm not sure what's going to help other people realize that we are intrinsically and irrevocably connected. For me, I guess, even though I knew, to really know, to really act about knowing, because there's knowing, right? We talked about this at the weekend as well. Awareness is king. It's great. It's amazing. But without action, it's purposeless, isn't it? What's the point in me knowing that I need to dissolve some body fat and not doing anything about that? What if I know that cessating whatever it is I'm doing might mean a longer, happier, healthier life? Okay, I know about it, but what about doing? So you can return to, right? Let's not make extreme happenings or extreme behaviors or the things we do that we know about but we're not acting about a permanent affair. Like life's a permanent affair. Sorry, just to let you know, that's another story for another day. But we're not permanently in this body space. And so whilst we're here, I think knowing that we are connected and realizing that at the core of our existence is the need to feel understood, to connect with others and to share experiences. That's what I believe. At the core of our existence is the need to connect to others, to feel understood and to share our experiences. I've been thinking about that. We all need connection, actually. And we all do connect. How do I connect? How do I connect with the 26.4% of people that have disabilities? How do I connect with my clients? And that's who they are. How do I connect with everybody? Well, here I am, connecting through social media. Through my learning, I go to university. I'm about to go on placement to 2 placements, actually, as I develop services for dementia in Wales, adults with disability and adults who experience various forms of dementia or neurological challenges. I connect through my workfulness. I work with accessibility partners, and you'll also see, if you're on any other form of social media except Clubhouse this morning, you'll see inclusion in the heart, in the corner of all I do. My business is to help adults into and during and throughout workfulness, and that includes me. And if you're an adult with a disability of any kind, physical, mental, emotional, psychological, doesn't have to be diagnosed, then you too are entitled to access to work. And access to work is what Accessibility Partners, the company that I designed 20 months ago, provides throughout the 4 nations for the UK government. And I connect through my service to others to inclusion every week, every day, actually, every moment. This evening, we're in inclusion at 7 o'clock. And if you would like to know how to serve others and to serve yourself, then come along. How about serving them through your own experience, through your skills and attributes, through your offerings? We're developing a resource bank of those willing to serve. Initially, it will be voluntary. The setup of your profile will be free, but for this, you've got to offer 3 free sessions to our clients to trial your offerings. We're going to provide the environment. We're going to record your session for you, and we're going to offer that session up to others to see as a taster of your offerings. And if you get uptake, you'll be paid. We've begun this with a few specialists, and we are developing this offering now. So please get in touch. He's not here, but Bob has done. Maybe you will. Also, we have a GoFundMe. Let me just see if I can add that. There we go. You can see that now scrolling underneath the PowerPoint presentation. As our GoFundMe. How can you connect? Well, contribute to that. Do something brave or crazy. Make up something and make some money for inclusion. We need this entrepreneur to be awarded before our summer trip to Baswa. Come to inclusion at 7 o'clock tonight. Share your skills and your attributes. And if you're a bit rusty, just come and meet us and let's practice that together. So for those that haven't been here so far, I'm going to summarize. Going back. We talked about this morning why connection's key. This is before we talk to each other. I said it's key to life, the universe, and everything. Well, I have this time round. Now that I'm reviewing it. And if anyone's watched or listened to or read that book where the life, the universe, and everything is mentioned, you'll know we have to say thank you for everything, including the fish. Why is connection key? The connection's all we have. We are everything, and everything is us. I talked about the fact that I died. I also talked about the fact that I met somebody this week who had been connected to me through somebody in the audience, through the work that I do, through a personal mobility device that I am now able to help distribute around the UK, and Omeo. I met with a lady who delivers services to adults with disabilities and those with learning difficulties in the community this weekend, and she had the same kidney condition that I had. I was the first in the country to have that operation, and I saw the effect of that, of me going first, of me having my kidneys and my bladder out on the operating theatre, a 50-50 chance that I would survive, and I did. And I have again and again and again. But meeting her this weekend was phenomenal and just reminded me that we are all connected. We all return. We all do. And that connection is key to my experienced reality. I've asked how you are going to connect. And what are you going to connect with? What are you going to connect with? Because I've said that we are working with some individuals in the community. I've asked how I connect. I've said that I connect through my service to others in inclusion and accessibility partners. And I've asked how you're going to serve others. My suggestion has been that we do it through our own experience, through our skills and attributes, through your offerings, through our offerings. And we're going to develop a resource bank of those willing to serve. I've explained that initially it's going to be voluntary, but we're going to set up your profile. That's going to be free to you. But to do that and have you available for accessibility partners, we're going to expect you to offer 3 free sessions to our clients to trial your offerings. Then we're going to record them. We're going to pick the best of those 3, and we're going to upload those as a taster to your offerings. And if you get uptake, you'll be paid. Bob's not here, but we've done that with Bob, and we're doing that with Bob. And Bob is a specialist about how the body works. He's an osteopath. And we're going to be looking for others. We're talking to physiotherapists and occupational therapists, to psychologists, to educational psychologists, to teachers, to tutors, to Senkos, to social workers, to all of those professionals. But also, we want people who know how to do business. We want people who know how to develop social media, to edit footage, to advertise, to get confident, to speak publicly. All of those skills are necessary for people in business to create our disabled entrepreneur. To create an entrepreneur, that entrepreneur needs to develop skills. I was talking to a colleague of mine this morning about their Calendarly and about learning how to book themselves out on their Calendarly as well as other people. These are all enormous learning curves, and they're all ones that our clients need. But to do that, we need to do it together. Because I'm not very good on my own. I don't know all of this. I'm a baby at this. I didn't even know how to use Facebook 3 years ago. So we are just better together. You know, that's my tagline. I believe that in Accessibility Partners, we unlock your potential. Whether you are a client, a facilitator, or a member of the team delivering the services, we believe that we unlock your potential, and that inclusion gives the opportunity to unlock everybody's potential. So if you've been touched by what I've talked about today, if you believe that connection's key, if you think that actually our reason for being here is to connect to each other, if you think that it's our experiencing and our sharing of those things that we learn with each other that gives you joy, then come to Inclusion tonight at 7 o'clock. And if you're not quite ready, then have a listen to it on replay. People do, and then they hide themselves from the replay and then message me. All very strange. We also are on Saturdays. We're in LinkedIn, of course, in that place we call belonging in business. And I believe that connection is key. Connection is key in business. It's key in third sector services. It's key in health and social care. It's key in life. I don't think there's anything else. I think the rest of it we make up, right? The houses, the cars, the jobs, the labels, the roles, that I'm a parent to, a partner of. Well, actually, it's not just who we are, it's how we're connecting. And I'd like to know how you're going to connect, how you do connect in the world, and how you feel you are serving others in that connection. Because for me, it's all right gathering all this information, and I do quite extensively, but I do wonder what we're going to do with it, and how much effect we think it's going to have. So for me, I would like everybody to get in touch that feels they have skills to share. For example, I saw she's not here now, I think she's gone. Oh no, there she is, Claire in the audience. And I've been asked by Kate Stanford to start some dancing ready for the summer at Disability Expo. Kate's Omeo is about to be delivered to her, so she can start practicing some dancing moves. And Kate's been part of BBC, I think, and been on Steph's Packed Lunch and a few other things. And her dance studio is going to collaborate with Accessibility Partners. And during the 3 days at the Disability Expo, those clients are going to be filtered to us whilst we are working, so that as well as seeing everybody that's there, 5,500 visitors last year, looks like 15,000 this year, that there's going to be 200 participants, all with disabilities, who are dancing in the industry, who need some help through access to work. So we know we're going to be working very hard, and connection's going to be key at Disability Expo. It's going to be key because I'm going to be dancing along with some other people in my Omeo or my Lomeo. Hopefully it'll be my Omeo. My Omeo is being sprayed as we speak this week. Oh, that rhymes. So I believe connection is key, and this year is all about connection for me. Connecting at Disability Expo, connecting on LinkedIn, connecting with inclusion, going to Baswa. We have an event on the 29th of March in Cardiff at Blackwater Gallery. It's going to be fantabulous. It's a week after my birthday, and it's all about why my health has improved extensively. It's not just going to be exciting, it's going to be fun too. We have the whole of the gallery booked out, so you can wander around an art gallery at the same time as listening to a presentation from me and a few other key people yet to be revealed And I just think it's going to be fantastic. So if you want to know about that event, then please get in touch with Marie on the stage here, who will give you somebody who is organising it. There's my connection in. Connecting is all there is. We've got nearly half an hour, which is absolutely fantastic, because usually I'm going, we've got 10 minutes and we've got to get over, because at 7 o'clock, we're in Mindset Monday with Pete Cohen, of course, the gentleman who has assisted for the last 3 years in supporting me to just get stronger, better, more able, and more accepting of who and what and how I am. So we've investigated who and what and how we are this morning. I'm not going to take any more time than your half an hour. I think 25 minutes, half an hour is long enough to listen to my dulcet tones before we start talking about this. So if you do want to help, and I think Pete mentioned in one of our groups yesterday about he feels that it is his privilege to support those individuals who maybe have not had the same opportunities as we have had. His privilege. And whilst we all have privilege, I think to carry out our privilege in that way is just second to none. You know, we together, and that's what we've talked about, together we raise money for a farm in Uganda. Together we have raised money for the beds for those children. Together we are raising money for a tractor for that farm. And together, over the last 3 years, you have helped me help hundreds of disabled individuals move into and through to workfulness, beating the plans of this government, because by 2028, the welfare benefit system will not look the same, if indeed we even recognise it. So we have got 4 more years, 3 more years, 2 more years, 1 more year. Now is the time to connect. Now is the time to share your skills and attributes. Now's the time to get your profile up on inclusion. Now's the time to work with our inclusion individuals. That's me and you and everybody else, because we're all included. Inclusion's everybody's agenda. To practice those skills that you have, sharing them with other people. I'm looking forward to hearing and sharing other people's skills and skill sets, because there's so many hidden skill sets that people have. This lady that I met at the weekend had so many hidden skill sets that came out in our conversation through our connection, that we have amazing things to do together. One of which I think is a podcast about kidneys. So I think I need to invite her onto my podcast. She's going to make a fantastic guest if she's willing. I've only done one podcast with one of our clients. If you want to look for that, it's the Accessibility Partners podcast. And I think the first episode was pretty epic, considering it was my first. It wasn't edited. It was just laid down exactly as it was recorded. It'll do, right? As a first attempt in learning. I am failing forwards fantastically, because if I don't love it all, then I won't be able to show it all. And if I don't show it all, then my authenticity is questioned, in my opinion. That doesn't mean we need to air our dirty washing, but what it does mean is I think we have to be prepared to be who we are and where we are and how we are. It is great that you've joined me here, and I couldn't be more grateful for your support. I couldn't do this on my own. Even on Friday rather, when we were recording, the fact that we had an audience, albeit small, made such a difference. The individuals there were attentive and responsive and reactive. And that's what we've got here, right? We're a Caras, we're a team. Thank you for coming to MJ's house. I would be grateful if you are there this evening at 7 o'clock as well. And if you do have skills that you want to share and you would like that profile setting up, please get in touch, because we're looking for people. We're looking for people that want to give of themselves in service and then later on move into workfulness at a reasonable hourly rate. In Accessibility Partners, we don't pay anybody less than £15 an hour. And it goes up in increments depending on your skills and capabilities. So I am going to, as I promised, close my my conversation, I guess, my talk there at past, and move on to the incredible people on the stage. I want to say good morning to Ali and Matt and Adam and Louise and Claire and David and Duncan and Jew and James and Alexia and Marie. It's fantastic. The capacity we've got to communicate globally now is outstanding. It was still great to be together at the weekend, though, because I think being together is there's nothing better, right? This is another version of being together, but being together like we're going to be on the 29th of March, that's just the best way. I've had a great weekend. Good morning, Marie. Do you think connections are key? Are you there?
Morning.
Good morning.
Well, I think it's just the only way, isn't it? It's just the only way. I don't see another way forward. I certainly know that I'm much better when I'm surrounded by like-minded people, and you know, I surround myself with support, which I find hard. You know, I find it hard to reach out and say I need some support and I need some help. But when I do, it makes a whole heap of difference. It just does. You know, and I look back at the weekend, it's interesting, isn't it? Like the story that we tell ourselves on a daily basis. I have to really monitor that narrative, because I can be really hard on myself, MJ. You know, but I tell you, yeah, I think we are our own worst critic. That's the truth of it. You know, and I sit and I look and who is keeping score? Honestly, who's keeping score? And I realised it's me. I'm my harshest critic, always. But I think vulnerability is key. I do. I think it's key in business, and I think authenticity as well. I think they're some of the cornerstones to success. And this stuff's hard, isn't it? Like, it was incredibly freeing to speak to the wonderful people that we met at the weekend, you know, and to be able to express our humanity, you know, our humanness in all of it, above this professional, not facade is the wrong word, but these expectations that we place on circumstances and situations and stuff like that. And actually realising that I think that the beauty unfolded when we were able to become vulnerable and just authentically real, because it gives people the permission to be themselves, right? And I think there's no greater beauty than that. And that's the same. I think the same applies in business. Absolutely. You know, I will never forget when I was supervising a nursing home and we found one of the nurses asleep on the job, and the manager sacked her on the spot. And I pulled her to one side, and she said that she'd come from Rwanda, and she said that 2 years previously she'd seen her sister murdered, and she has nightmares about it on the anniversary, so she hadn't slept. You know, and I went back to the manager and I said, listen, we've got to have some recompense here for people's situations and circumstances. By all means, they should be penalised, absolutely. But I thought, you know, I checked out from that job that day, because I realised that we'd it completely lost its human aspect. And I wonder to myself, still to this day, years and years on, I think, how different would that experience have been for that lady if we'd have seen her humanity? So I think vulnerability and authenticity are the way forward in business, MJ. But we'll see, right? Because I'm my harshest critic, and I spent the whole journey home thinking about how we could improve, what we can do better, all of that noise, when, of course, it went just as it was supposed to go. And people opened up about their true experience and what their dreams were and what their goals were moving forward. So I'm grateful that I'm alongside you, and I will never not be eternally grateful.
I'm eternally grateful to you, and it always sounds like we're blowing smoke up each other's arse, but we're not. You know, this weekend I think we're both very honest about what goes well, what didn't, what we can do better. That's all there ever is. I think that perpetual learning cycle, Kolb's learning cycle, is what they, you know, it's a reflective cycle. All teachers get taught, all social workers, actually, any participant in the human endeavor, is the do, review and redo, right? Do, review and redo. The first time I got up to walk, I couldn't do it. I can't do it now, funnily enough. But, you know, I'm not taking the mick. I'm just saying that things change, and that we change, and that the idea of me being live on social media in more than one medium was just a ludicrous idea 3 years ago. And on Friday, I very naturally, I felt, went through something that didn't actually go to plan, quite eloquently. And that is just practice makes progress. But what I like about it is that the practice I'm doing isn't hidden. in an office where I'm beating myself up for doing it wrong, I'm sharing. And whilst I share, there are people that contact me and say, do you know that what you said on Saturday was mind-blowing for me and has changed everything I'm about to do? That'll do. Because it isn't about my ego. Well, it shouldn't be. Although it was at first, I can tell you. It was about whether I looked all right. Was my hair okay? The amount of times I play with my hair on social media is ridiculous when it's bright purple, curly and cut at one side. It's not as if it's going to look ordinary. I'm not sure what I'm expecting to do with it. But that fear, that shame, those feelings that I have, that I had all the way home when I was ruminating and reflecting, when I record something and I try and play it back and I don't want to listen to it, because what I'm listening to are the things I don't want to hear rather than the things that I'm saying. And it's not even for me to listen to, right? Because what we did on Saturday, Friday, Sunday wasn't for us, it was for everybody else. It was for us, it helped us develop, but the things we shared shouldn't be about it being perfect. For me, it should be about it being shared. So I think progress over perfection in every single aspect of my life, including failing my latest assignment because I didn't use the recommended table of contents, the last one. I'm going to start taking their recommendations. I think it's going to be easier for me, and I'm still having my voice. I'm still having my say outside of that. So I think progress over perfection has to be the name of the game for me. And why connection is key is because I don't think there's anything else. I think the rest of it's just made up. Here's somebody that I just absolutely worship the fact that I'm connected with, and the fact that when we go to Baswa this year, we're going to the Earth Centre, I think they call it, in Glasgow. Is it the Earth Centre, Alexia? Are we taking you to the Earth Centre when Baswa tell us we're coming? Of course, they haven't told us we're coming yet.
Well, let's put it this way: it's a place I've got to be.
Well, there we go in then, aren't we?
I'm the Earth Healer.
Yeah.
I would like to explain to people what that actually means. You, me, MJ, anybody who listens to this recording, you started as part of this earth, you use this earth, you go through this earth and you go back to it. In whatever way you go back to it, that's where you end up. It's where you started. I was born with polio. And I was born in the 50s. And in the 50s, I was lucky enough to have a mum fought for the fact that I should lead a normal life. But that was still a challenge. Because what wasn't taken into account was that my body didn't work the same as the person's next door. It didn't work the same as my brothers, as my mums and my dads. It was different. But we're all different, and that change might come at any point in your life. If you're fitting well now, you might not be in a minute, you might not be tomorrow. I had an absolute fear, and it was a fear, of putting pen to paper. Although I was a nurse and worked in nursing for many years, because of something that was said to me as a child, I was embarrassed about my writing. And anybody who's worked with a dyslexic person, it's not just the spelling that's embarrassing, it's the handwriting. Can somebody read it? Can you read it back yourself, even if you spelled it correctly? Because sometimes it could look like somebody who's drunk when they've written it. But I still went through that nursing. I ran my own business for over 17 years. I've worked with problem animals all my life. 90% of the animals that have come through my hands have been because somebody else has had them first and messed them up in some way. And it's building that connection. Everything we have comes from this planet. The water you drink, the air you breathe, the way you get around, it all comes from this planet.
So why would we not want to work together? Why would we not want to respect each other? I love Marie and MJ, and poor Marie, she's got the challenge this morning of sorting out the first part of my assignment because it did my head in. I said to her in an email, this has had me in tears. And partly had me in tears because when I went to school, I was just classed as stupid. My friend MJ, when I met her on Clubhouse and she couldn't breathe, got me into university. I've done 1 year of university. I'm over halfway through the second year of university. And let's be honest here, it's not going to get easier to do. They're going to set things more challenging as you go down the journey. But so is life. It's going to be a challenge. I was quite a wealthy lady. I lost absolutely everything to fraud. You imagine you got over £50,000 of savings, you got £20,000 in your current account. All right, that's not a good idea to have that much, but I did have at that point. And you wake up one day and that's gone. What are you going to do? How are you going to pay your bills? And yes, I did try the suicide route. That is not the answer. It isn't the answer. And thank goodness I did ask for help because we are stronger together.
It isn't the answer because it don't work, Alexia.
It doesn't.
Well, it don't work even if you manage it. I'm just saying, we still exist. I know that nobody needs to know this. Well, they do actually. I don't mind who does hear it. My experience is that we continue existing. We continue to experience.
We do.
That's my experience. So we're still here. Everyone that's passed, just in case anyone knows, we're all still here.
Yeah. I know. I 100% agree. I've had so many experiences and seen so many things that I know that for a fact, but I do understand there's people who listen to this might find that difficult to understand because it's not their time or the remit to understand it. But I never thought I'd be going to university doing a degree in psychology. What? No, I won't be doing that. But I am. When I lost everything to fraud, we get opportunities. MJ's picked her opportunities by reaching out to people. And this is what I want to do, is reach out to people and teach them about the planet. I'm writing a series of children's books with Marie, who works as my PA 1 day a week, when she doesn't get pinched. Oh, we've got to have that one in there.
I'm always robbing you. Oh,
I get you.
I'm Dick Turpin.
Yeah, there you go. You invite me to my coaching calls this month as well. See you on Friday. But this is what life is about. This is what the journey is about. There's challenges. We can do anything, but you might not do it the same way as everybody else. I'm waiting for my own now, and I will have one. And I will be doing a video of my scooter, which has now gone undercover. I haven't had time yet because I had an argument with the TMA.
Guess what I did yesterday?
What?
I watched the training video for the OBO.
You only just watched it?
Yeah. Don't give a teacher learning. Don't give a plumber things to... Just don't have... If you have a plumber, you've got leaky taps. If you give a teacher something to learn, she learns it about 14 weeks later. Terrible. It's terrible. But yeah, I have watched it now. And now I understand why I've made the mistakes I've made.
Yeah, but what the point is, we will always make mistakes, won't we?
Of course.
There's no way around that.
I've just failed an assignment. Well,
I hope I don't fail this one.
I'll just have to... All I'm doing is editing it, right? It doesn't mean fail. It means I haven't passed it yet.
no, it means looking at it in a different way.
That's right. I haven't passed it yet. I've got 3 attempts, right?
Yeah.
So there you go.
I have now. Now I've finally got approved the fact that I am severely dyslexic. I have always got the option to ask for extra time, but me
Of
being
course.
me, and you very much work that way, is no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, same as
Do
me.
it
I
if
wouldn't.
it suits me. If that means I stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning, I'll do it.
Mm.
But
Yeah, we'll learn eventually, won't we, love?
yeah, we will. That's the trouble with you and me. We do it for about 2 days and then we forget when the next change comes up.
Little monkeys. It's because we were made to put up, shut up, get on and get out and get on with it. It was that attitude of the my mum's 50s, 60s, 70s. It was, put up, shut up and move through, which is great for resilience, but it's not very good for self-care and love, is it?
Not.
Of ourselves.
It's not, because I suddenly had to stop at the weekend. I realised a little while ago what those falls are I'm having.
Mm-hmm. Exhaustion.
When I overdo it,
there you are.
I begin to get dizzy.
Exhaustion.
And I don't realise it until I go to do something like step up a step or step down a step. And I nearly did that on Saturday, and I thought, I've got to stop, because I would have gone down in my garden on a concrete path.
I still think you need checking for POTS, postural hypertension.
Yeah, well, we'll have to have a discussion about that one. I have actually got an appointment to have an X-ray for my leg this next week. I have been a good girl.
You see, I'm really proud of you for engaging. I'm not saying we should take everything the medics say verbatim, but I think having some visual checks to see what's going on, like a brain scan for me in a bit, to see what the plaques are doing and see how bad the scarring is. I want to see that they're going. I believe my brain scan's going to show big differences, but there we go. Honestly, I think thermal imaging, scans are a good idea to check, not all the time. But I think being engaged with the medics, because you hardly had gone to the doctors at wherever you live. You'd hardly been for about a million years.
I still haven't seen him to get that. This is the process I went through, and I was putting it off. But the pain in my leg has got so bad when I get tired. I've got a job to stand on it. Mm. So I ring the doctor's surgery up, and they ask all the details. We get somebody to ring you back. Mm. I still didn't speak to the doctor.
No.
I only spoke to a nurse, who then had to say, well, if you're going to put my history in front of you, I've got no proper hip joint. I never have had. Mm. I haven't got a proper knee joint on the right side. Mm. While I'm talking to you, because it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, to stand on this leg, because I actually got caught just coming up with a throne. I'm having to put my other hand against the wall in case that leg
gives way.
Goes, because you know what that's like. It'll just go.
And then you're on the floor like a sack of tatties.
So far, I haven't quite gone on the floor. I've come very near to it, but it does make me swear, because the whole joint is bone to bone in the bones.
Anyone that doesn't understand that pain.
No, and it's not always when I've overwalked either.
No, you do really well. I am so proud of you keeping going with what you've got going on.
I'm honoured to work with you, and if we can work with me teaching people the importance of health and well-being and the connection to the planet.
Exactly.
Because that's something that Pete misses.
They're your skills.
Something that it's what most coaches miss, is that connection. Yeah, you can have health and well-being. Do you know one of the because my assignment this month was about health and well-being, and about a particular psychologist and the techniques he used, and why it wasn't a particularly good technique, is the Maoris. Because the Maoris, the same as a couple of other tribes, realised the importance of connection, of family, of groups, of the planet, of everything that we have.
Of course.
And that is missing. The only person I've noted who ever really talks about that in any detail is Dr. Bob.
Absolutely.
So we need to show people that connection. So if we can get together and do that as part of the group, then I'm up for that.
Fantastic.
We've got to do that. And I think I better let somebody else speak now, mate.
And I'm looking forward to your speaker bio being on inclusion, because we're going to have that for the lived experience panel, right? And then for our facilitators.
That's my PA's job.
It is indeed. I agree. I think we're all going to have one. I don't know who's going to do Marie's. That's the only question I've got.
I could do it.
Oh, there we are. You do Marie's. You can do yours. I'll do mine.
play.
Yeah. There you go. We can play swaps, can't we? In fact, maybe that should be an inclusion night, that we all write each other's bios. I think that's a great night.
Yeah, she has to correct the spelling.
If you want your bio writing, come to inclusion and somebody else will write it for you. I just think that's a great night. That's a great night. I think that's a great night. I wish somebody had done that for Clubhouse for me, I tell you. I'll have to look at my bio for Clubhouse. Yeah, I haven't looked at it for years. I don't even know whether we've got one now.
God, I must check mine out.
I don't even know it exists. I don't know. I'm looking forward to our gated community. I'm going to be hassling Clubhouse because I'm ready for it now. I don't know what they're doing. I'm looking forward to when it changes. It must be soon. And watch this space. We have 10 minutes. I'm just going to do a reset. You are in MJ's house. We've been talking about why connections are key. And actually, that's all we've talked about this morning, is about connecting. And so we should. I've asked the question, what's going to help you connect? And if you're not connecting, how are you going to connect? And I've suggested that tonight we run inclusion on a Monday night. And in inclusion and on our website, we're going to be helping people to connect by asking people who wants to step up and serve. And if you do want to step up and serve and you've got skills, even if they're rusty, and you want to share those with other people, we want you to set up a profile with us. We're going to invite you to be recorded. We're going to record you delivering to our participants. We're going to ask you to do that 3 times over whatever period of time you choose, because it's free, right? We're not going to give you any pressure. We're just going to say, come share. And then when we do, we're going to record that on StreamYard, probably help you edit it down. If not, get somebody to help you do that. And then you'll have something to showcase your skills to and with and for other people. We'd like that on our website so that you can share with inclusion. If you are then uptaken, we will pay you after those first 3 times. I don't think we can say fairer than that. And that's how we would like to invite you to connect. I'm connecting in that way. I give of myself 3 times a week. This morning in MJ's house at 6 a.m. for those of you that are here. On a Monday night in inclusion from 7 o'clock, we're there for half an hour on Clubhouse. Go and listen to the replays. They're sick. And then we zoom over to our Zoom channel and sometimes our StreamYard because we're practicing that ready for BASWA, where our participants are going to the British Association of Social Workers, I hate acronyms, to explain our new lived experience panel. And of course, in Wales, we're opening a Welsh context lived experience panel, spelling L-A-I-S-S. In Welsh, it means voice. I'm not quite very good with the Welsh connection yet, the Welsh pronunciation. But to me, it spells lace. And of course, I'm Mandy Jane Lace. So lace, or lace, however you say it. I'm sure Julian will help me in a minute. We've got 10 minutes for him to tell me how rubbish I am at Welsh. We have our lived experience panel, and they are going to BASWA, British Association of Social Workers. And on a Monday night, that's what we practice. And between now and then, the gap between, we want inclusion to be skilled, upskilled with the things that you have. And that's how I believe you can create connection. If you're uptaken in inclusion, it's very likely that those participants in inclusion who work with accessibility partners will share your wares with other people and say, oh, I had this great session. And then you may be uptaken for one of our client sessions or maybe a group. Look, that's what we want to do. We want to help people connect because we believe we're better together. And that's because I'm pretty crap on my own. I'm not sure that's the end of this tagline, but it is for me. James, I think we're better together. How's your connection going? I bet you connected with some people in Salford. Is it Salford? Where were you staying?
Salford, right? Salford, absolutely. Absolutely fabulous. But we have a powerful connection, MJ, because we first met in London when we saw an incredible snooker player, and his mindset and cooking skills are really such an inspiration, Ronnie O'Sullivan. And then we did the cycling marathon. But before then, we were in Birmingham at BASWA. And we've had a real tour de force at the moment. Obviously, I sidestepped it a couple of days ago because I was still in the hospital. But
have you broken your neck?
I was in the hospital for Tuesday, about 10 days, and that 12 days with 2 different hospitals, but both places I some of the skills that I've learned from these connections I've got here really allowed me to exit there a lot faster than I think most people would have done.
Wildly fast. Wildly fast. The recovery is amazing.
I had absolute confidence when I saw those 2 surgeons in Salford. It just felt this connection, like when I felt we met in London that evening. And like when I've met Alexia, you just feel a connection, and you have that then excels your confidence. Yeah. But really, for me, when I was in the A&E for 2 full nights, and I just happened to be in the bed near the corner where they had the sluice bed. So there was lots of interesting noises coming from the changing of people all the time. Quite comedic, but also quite... in the old days, that would have really irritated and triggered me. And like Mum was there at times, and she was like, I said, go on, Mum, go and get yourself a really bad coffee from that vending machine. And or better still, just get some hot water and have a really good coffee. So we did well for coffee in there because they were letting me drink. So thankfully, a straw is a very helpful tool. And we did manage to get quite a few cardboard ones. But whilst I was in there, for me, having visited Julian quite a few times now and seen his plight there, where he's living currently, at a care home for elderly.
That's right.
I was inspired by the fortitude that he's got to tolerate the goings-on that was in there. The goings-on in an A&E, realistically, are what they are. It is an ANZ or an A&E. Yeah, one of those places on a Sunday night can be pretty much like a war zone. Yes. So, especially in Wigan, I can tell you. But they were incredible staff that are very dedicated, that were a bit thin on the ground. Now, when I got to Salford, the centre of excellence, that was incredible. But I cannot praise that. There is no higher praise. I can't even get even higher with it because they were incredible. And I'm probably mumble jumbo in my English there, but they're just, the praise I have for those individuals there is completely the polar opposite from recent places where I was just a few years ago. And Alexia brought this attention to me, and Maria, because what Maria mentioned was a key word, HR, humanitarian resources, as I call them. Thankfully, in a hospital, they're at the highest level in Salford that you'll ever find. I would say to anyone, go to another hospital and find me a better crew and team of people.
Absolutely.
And I would say, well done, because my God, if there's a hospital that's better than they were, and Wigan Royal Albert are fabulous as well. So I'm not dishing my local hospital. They were incredible people. I'm absolutely honoured to be under their care at that time. And I knew I wouldn't be in there long because of all of my recoveries in the past from problems I've had. I've had some dark days. And as I say, thankfully, I'm healing the earth as well now because I don't produce any plastic crap. And that's nice, Mrs. Brown.
Thank you very much, James, and I'm sorry to jump over you, but I just want to say hey to Jew because it's nearly 7 o'clock, and I know he's got to run off to Sharon's room. So, Jew, if you do need to go, feel free. If you can, and Mike, you've got about a minute. I'm so sorry about the timing.
Morning.
Good morning, my love. Connection's all we've got, isn't it?
To get stuck behind Alexia and James.
I know. I'm sorry. Maybe next week you'll be here at 6, eh? I shall see you all next week. You've been in MJ's house. We're going to run over to LinkedIn. Go to Mindset Monday and get your day on the way. I love you all. I think you're incredible. I'm going to say goodnight. Oh, goodbye. And I'll see you all over on the other side. Take care, everyone. Have a great week.